Hello guys and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to talk about Sorare. This is a beginner's guide to Sorare recorded in early 2021. It will be pretty evergreen content, but if there's any drastic changes I will put a link to the latest iteration of this video somewhere up at the top of the page. I guarantee all of your Sorare questions will be answered. And how can I guarantee that? Because if you have any at the end of the video, reach out to me here on Twitter or over there on Instagram. Slide in the DMs and I'll be sure to get back to you. I really will endeavour to answer all your questions. So please watch this video, make sure that your question isn't answered, and then message me. Don't just go messaging me now. Two things before we get right into it. First up, subscribe and like the video, please. It really helps me. I put out content on all things in the football trading space, be it Sorare, Football Index, Footstock occasionally, football cards, FPL. I love it. I'm a big football fan, or soccer to our international friends watching. And the second thing is, I will get into why you should use it more very shortly when I talk you through your initial draft. But below there is a link in the description. I'm an affiliate. I'm not trying to hoodwink you. With that link, you get an extra 100 million in your draft, which can be crucial, and I'll explain why. Please use my link. It supports me. I get paid if you use it. I am an affiliate. And if you just don't like the look of my face, if you don't like the cut of my jib, that's fine. Go and find another affiliate and use their link, because you want that extra 100 million in your draft. So there's a few things we want to discuss. I could talk to you about what is Sorare. It's a global fantasy football game, and talk about the cards and digital scarcities in Ethereum. All of that is explained in other videos. Okay, I have a what is Sorare video on my channel, and I have a 5 misconceptions. The misconceptions cover the likes of the ETH versus the fiat currency, so your pounds, euros, dollars, whatever. Am I gambling on Ethereum? Am I gambling on the player as well? Is it a double gamble? That's covered. Do I need tens of thousands to start on Sorare? That sort of stuff's covered in the misconceptions video. So there's other videos out there, and they're all around 10 minutes, so it won't take too much of your time. I recommend you go check them out. I'll link them at the end of the video. But for now, I'm gonna go through common questions I get from beginners. And the first thing you face is your draft. So the draft is the logical place for us to start, I think. I'll go over here. I'll show you the draft. So, if you sign up to Sorare, you get to draft 10 common cards. Cards come in 4 levels of scarcity, okay? There's common cards, which are these white ones. They're pretty common. You cannot trade them. You get 10 of them when anyone signs up. I've got an image of the other ones here. I'm just going to pull it up. This is what they look like. The red card is a rare card, the blue card is a super rare card, and the black card is a unique card. So what does all this mean? Common cards, you get 10 when you sign up for free. They're worth nothing, but you can utilize them to win prizes, okay? So they are actually worth something, but you can't sell them, okay? The rare cards, there's up to 100 of these printed in any player in any given season. A maximum of 100 can be issued in a season on a player. The super rare, maximum of 10, and the unique, maximum of 1 per season. They get more powerful and more useful in tournaments in different ways. The uniques and super rares can be very pricey. Rares will be very competitive, and where you will be dabbling when you start in the rare market, I imagine. We go over here, again to the draft. And in here, I want to give you a couple of pieces of advice. I'm not going to go through a full draft here. Your options might be slightly different depending on when you're watching this video. The prices of the players might change, so it's not worth it. But I really want to double down and reiterate something to you here, and you'll see it on a lot of content. Or if you ask any of your friends who are Sorare, they will tell you to do this. Focus on goalkeepers. And I'll tell you why. You need goalkeepers just as much as you need defenders, midfielders and forwards to enter the 5-a-side tournaments in which you can win more Ethereum or other cards. Goalkeepers are the most scarce position on the pitch, or in a team. When you think of it, there might only be 2 or 3 goalkeepers in a team, whereas you'll have loads of other players from other positions. And for that reason, they're quite rare. And everyone wants them because everyone needs them. So their prices are kind of inflated and quite high on Sorare, and they're the biggest barrier to entry when you sign up. So if you have a couple of good common goalkeepers up your sleeve when you sign up, you'll be looking pretty good. So as you can see here, there's a 400 million budget. The extra 100 million will go a long way, and you get that if you use the link in the description of this video. As I said, I am an affiliate. I do make money. I'm not trying to hoodwink you and be, oh, use that link, yeah, thanks, and say no. I will get paid. If you don't like me, I'm going to reiterate, use an affiliate link, you get the extra 100 million. Alright? That's it for the plugs for the video. Use the link in the description, help your mate out. You'll get an extra 100 million, you'll have 500 million to draft. I recommend getting a minimum of 2 playing goalkeepers, ideally from different leagues. Probably one from one of Europe's top 5 leagues, if you're into European football, that is. If you're into Asian football, get one from Asia. If you're into American football, get one from the MLS. Whatever you want, but make sure you get at least 2 good playing goalkeepers who start for their clubs. If you can get 3, you're doing brilliant. If you get 4, you're a hero. The rest of it doesn't really matter. The defenders, midfielders and forwards, they don't really matter if you plan on depositing from the get-go, because you can buy rares at quite competitive prices in those positions. But if you're looking to kind of free roll it for a bit and suss it out, you might want to go for 1 or 2 playing goalkeepers, then put a bit more money in defence, midfield and forward. But the bottom line is here, if you're looking to deposit and get stuck into Sorare and you know that's your long-term vision, get the goalkeepers in your draft. Alright, that is all on the draft. We'll go back over here to the homepage. What's next? Licenses. Basically, Sorare, they obtain licenses to clubs. So as we can see here, they welcomed the Eredivisie this week, and they got all 18 clubs on. They acquired their licenses. Someone asked me to discuss that very briefly in this video. The licenses, why it matters on this platform and it mightn't on others, is because this isn't gambling. This is digital collectibles. You know, like Panini and Topps and Futura, and Upper Deck and those types of collecting player cards, which I have over here on the shelf behind me. They all have to get licenses in leagues and compete with each other for teams and licenses and players and whatever. Sorare, because they are essentially collectibles too, they're just the digital version, they need to acquire these licenses as well. So that's why not all clubs are there now, but they're adding new clubs every week. They really are making big moves. They're the champions of Europe's top 5 leagues. It won't be long before the rest of the teams follow. That's the long-term vision for Sorare, a truly global fantasy football game, and I think it's amazing. So the licensing, you'll see new teams added every so often. And obviously when they're first added, there's less of the players on the platform. The players are more rare, the players have higher prices. Over time, as more are issued, they'll kind of come back to their natural value in the market. So yeah, that's what licenses are. We'll talk briefly about what's next. Card XP levels. I want to talk about this. So I'll use my gallery as an example. I'll go to my highest leveled player. I think it's Ruben Diaz. So I have Ruben Diaz here. You can see it's a Benfica card. It's from the 1920 season when he played there. He's obviously playing at Manchester City now. So he is actually, I can use him in tournaments, and his scores from Manchester City games count. As we can see here, his previous 5 scores are all against Premier League teams, and he's been doing absolutely amazing. We'll get on to the scoring metric and what these scores mean a bit later. XP and levels. Okay, this is the bonus on this card. So if I use him in a tournament, which I'll get on to as well, that's next, tournaments. Basically every card has a bonus in a tournament. If the card is from the current season that we're in, they will have a 5% bonus, and that's just there. That's like their this season bonus. Okay, you have 5%. After that, for every level, okay, every level your card has, which is displayed here, you get 0.5% of a boost. This XP is his total XP, and you can see this little blue line. It's 1,415 XP points before the next level. They get XP. I'm not going to bore you about it. There's a blog about it on the Sorare Medium page. Go and read about XPs. But basically, bottom line is, they gather XP, they level up, they level up, they level up. The higher level, the more bonus they get. Now, as we can see, this is last season's card. So he doesn't get the 5%, he only gets his level XP. So 14 times 0.5 is 7%. I'll get a 7% bonus on whatever he scores if I use him in a tournament. If that was a this season card, which it isn't, that would be a 12% bonus because I get this season's bonus on top. I'll show you a card from this season. There's Zielinski. So Zielinski, while he's only level 7, he's actually scoring more bonus than Diaz because he has the 5% for this season, plus 7 times 0.5, which brings up to 8.5%. So there's that kind of explained. The XP and the levels. Basically just get cards you want, players you'll use them a lot, and yeah, they level up over time and they'll be better in tournaments. That's the whole idea. Your cards get better over time, but obviously the rare cards have a lower cap than the super rare have, than the unique have. The super rare are more powerful and have a higher sort of ceiling, as do unique. When you're buying cards, though, the likes of these percentage boosts can matter. There is I think they get cut, or they get half. The current XP gets halved or something whenever you transfer cards between each other. So just be aware of that. Read about it. I'm not going to bore you on all that. I don't want the video being too long. Next up, we'll look, as I said, at tournaments. So this is a pretty boring week coming. There's only the global. I'll use that as a bit of a demo shortly, but this is this week, for example, which was very exciting. Now, I did terribly. These are all my results, the different leagues I entered. I entered the Champion Europe, all Division 4, Special Weekly, the Challenger Europe, the Global Under 23, and the Global All-Star. I entered all of them in Division 4, and I did pretty terrible. Now, if you want to enter tournaments and teams, you have your gallery, which is all your players, and you go over to the play, and there's the open. It's open. It isn't closed yet. It runs from the 26th of January, which is tomorrow for me, at 6 p.m. until 5 a.m. on the 29th of January. Global All-Star is kind of like this is the big league with everyone. This is the global league. There will also be on other game weeks where there's more fixtures. This is a strange game week. It the leagues depend on who's playing. Obviously, Asia are on a break at the minute. There won't be an Asian league. The MLS, I don't know I think they're on a break. I don't follow the MLS. That's the beauty of Sorare as well. You don't have to follow the football you don't care about. I dabble mainly in Europe. So they aren't on, just the global this week. The under 23s isn't there. The Champion and Challenger Europe aren't there, but on other weeks they will be, and I'll talk to you about those leagues shortly. But if I want to enter a lineup in the global, for example, we can go in here, and it gives me the players that are eligible for this tournament, and it's all of them because it's global. Now, a lot of these players, NG, they have no game this week. They'll still be displayed, but they don't have a game, so don't play them. In this one, I'm going to say pick a Dan, who has a game. I'll pick Ruben Diaz. I'll pick Vanaken. I'll pick Kylian Hazard, and I'll pick Onuachu. Now, this shows you why it's so crucial you pick those goalkeepers in your commons, because you will need a goalkeeper and they're very expensive. Let's say you didn't have a Dan or Bodart. Let's say you had Albin Lafont, right? He doesn't have a game this week, but for the sake of the example, in the Division 4s, you can enter him. Now, he has a negative to his score. He gets a minus 50 because he's a common card, minus 50%, plus his XP, plus his 2021 card, so he's only a minus 42. The rest of them all have positive bonuses, but it's still worth having him. You know, it means you can enter, and you could still win good rewards. You could still win Ethereum. You could still win a new card. So that's why I really emphasize the importance of having those goalkeeper commons. The different types of tournaments, so that's how you enter. You type in your lineup. I should have been a bit more thorough there in terms of it's goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, forward, and you have an extra, so that can be a defender, midfielder, or forward. So you can basically play like a 2-1-1, a 1-2-1, or a 1-1-2. Completely up to you. I'm not going to get into the strategy of that right now, maybe in a later video. If you want that, post below, let me know. The leagues that you will come up against, right? There's basically the Global All-Star, which is everyone. The Global All-Star under 23s, which is everyone, but they have to be under 23. I've already covered this, but I want to just drill this home. The Asian leagues, the American leagues, and then you'll have in Europe, this is where it gets a little bit confusing, you'll have the Champion and the Challenger. The European Champion is basically just players from Italy, Germany, Spain, France, and England. The top 5 leagues in European football. They are the ones that you can enter, the ones from their premier divisions. They go into the Champion. So it's probably, if you come from the football index space, these will be the leagues you're used to. Or if you just follow European football, they'll be the big ones. The Challenger includes the likes of the Jupiler League in Belgium. It'll include the Russian League. It'll include all these lesser known European leagues. The Portuguese League, for example. So whenever you're building your initial team and buying cards off the market, this is something I want to get into. Don't just scattergun. Don't just go buying all the players you like. Strategize. Get your goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, and forward for your all-star team, say, first. Focus on the all-star maybe first, I'd say, if you want Champion. But they're probably a bit pricier because everyone wants the European footballers they've all heard of. But if you can build a team at a time for the global, for the European Champion, for the European Challenger, maybe build an Asian one, maybe build an under 23 division lineup, and then maybe build another one for the global, so you're getting a bit more depth on any of those weeks that your players aren't playing because they don't have a fixture or it's postponed with COVID or whatever it happens to be. But don't just scattergun and buy everyone you like, and you'll end up with 14 forwards and 2 defenders and a goalkeeper, and you can only enter one lineup a week anyway, but you've got all these forwards sitting there doing nothing for you. It's all about utility. You want your players to be able to actively win you back stuff. So bottom line is, on a normal game week, there'll be more tournaments going on, and you'll see them all displayed here and here and here and here and here. Last thing, if your players aren't playing for any reason, every week there's special training. You can enter, I think it's unlimited teams in this. I don't know if there's an upper limit. I've never gotten here, and I enter like 10 or 15 each week. For the players that aren't playing, like Mike Magnan here, let me see who else isn't playing. Mancini isn't playing there. I'm picking a bunch of players that aren't playing for me. I'm just throwing them in. These guys, I'll pick a captain. Let's say I want Depay to get a bit more XP. Confirm. Those players will all gain a little bit extra XP this week. Okay? Just for going to training. That's essentially it. So it's always worth sticking the players that aren't actually playing this week into the training. Just to get that XP, keep them leveling up, get those bonuses ticking over. What else did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk very briefly about the rewards. So if I actually go to this week's tournaments, in the likes of the Global All-Star, this is the Champion Europe, let's change that to the Global All-Star. Division 4, which is where you'll probably start. The rewards, sorry, I'll have to select over here. The winner gets a star rare card. That could be a Kylian Mbappe, that could be a Neymar. These could be insane cards which are worth thousands. Kimmich, it could be anyone. They also get half an ETH. Second will get a star rare 0.3, third one will get a star rare 0.2, and it goes down. But the important thing about the global to be aware of is, if you don't even have to place. If you score higher than 205 with your 5 players, you'll get 0.1 ETH, and if you score higher than 250, you'll get 0.2 ETH. So you're just, those little rewards, I get them most weeks. You're just accumulating Ethereum over time. It's brilliant. And if you do happen to do particularly well, you'll win more cards. So I love that sort of reward structure. All the different leagues have different rewards. But one thing I just want to let you in on is, if you enter the Global League and win, your card will be a global card. It can be from anywhere. But if you enter like the Asian League, your reward card will be from that Asia. The tournament that you've entered, the eligible cards, it will come from that pool. If you enter the Champion Europe, you'll get someone for the top 5 leagues in Europe. Same with Challenger, you'll get some Belgian guy, perhaps. So it's worth being aware that if you want to go winning your Mbappes, you need to be entering the Champion Europe, probably the under 23s, and the Global All-Star. So wherever your player is eligible, you could possibly win them back. So yeah, there is a breakdown of all that. I'll not bore you with it. You'll probably get there yourself at some stage. We're 17.5 minutes into this video. Couple more things I just need to drill home. Buying and selling. That's one thing I wanted to cover. And there's something else. We'll get there. Buying and selling. Right, there's the new signings. These are basically cards that are just being issued now for the first ever time by SORARE. You can bid here. You can't buy now. You put your highest bid in and you see if you get them. That's pretty self-explanatory. The transfer market is buying directly from other managers. People can list them for really stupidly high prices. They can list them for stupidly low prices or fair prices. It's up to you to gauge that. But let's say, for example, this guy Ianega, who plays over in Asia, I think, I don't actually follow him. Yep, I'm pretty sure they're Asian teams. I don't follow the leagues over there too much. If I wanted to buy this player now, I could just go and pay. Okay, you say he's worth 0.61. Great, 0.061. I'll buy it. What I'd probably do is I'll go and make him an offer. I'll say, here, do you know what it is? I'll give you a wee 0.055 and see if he bites, see if he nibbles. You can do this directly here when you click into the card. You can make an offer and chance your arm to get a bit of discount. Or you can reach out to them in Discord. I'll plug it at the end of the video. There is a Discord chat which most managers are on, and you can converse with people and sort of do bundle deals. Like, here, I'll give you my Ianega and Deshat, and you give me your Fukumori. Is that a deal? And you go, I don't know, maybe throw 0.1 ETH in, and then you just go back and forth. And that's the beauty of SORARE. It's a transparency. You can check out your mates' galleries. You can check out their recent activity, and it's all above board, and you can negotiate directly with other managers, which is brilliant. I love that. I love the transparency. So yeah, that's one way you can buy from the transfer market. There's the new signings. There's also bundles where you can buy bulk groups of players. Normally pretty expensive, probably not where you'll start, but you can nab them at pretty decent prices if there's not a lot of competition. And then the last thing is, you can go in here to direct offers, and this shows some offers I've been sent and some offers I've sent when it pops up. You can create a new offer and search for a user and send them a direct offer that way. They don't have to have cards listed. You can say, who do I like? I like Quinny, right? Quinny's my mate. If I say I want to message Quinny, right? I want to offer him none of that, but I'll send him a Vlasic. Great. And he'll send me his Verscharen. Great. Next. Submit. I'm not doing that. He'd steal my Vlasic. But that's a way you can submit an offer. So be aware of that. Right. Couple of quick things. We didn't want to look at that again. We've done your draft. The scoring iteration. So basically how players score in tournaments. I'll show you quickly my lineup last week for the Champion Europe. Here we are on the right hand side. My big head's probably blocking half of it. Sorry about that, but you can see the top couple of players. Amiri got 48 with his bonus 4.5%. That was 50.26 points. Memphis Depay, who I captained, got an extra 20% bonus because he was my captain. That's what your captain gets, 20%. And he got 6.5% for his own. He's only 1.5 on his XP, 5% for this season card, 26.5 overall. On the 71 that he scored me 90 points, and so on and so forth. More players. All those scores accumulate, and we see where I finish. How that score's worked out, I'll not really go into it too in depth. Sorare data is where you'll do all your research. I'll plug that at the end of the video. But basically, how the scoring works is there's a decisive score on any player. There's an all-around score. So these tables, if you look in here, this is a blog on Medium through the Sorare Medium account. It explains it all. I'm not going to go through it now. But players start at a value. Big decisive actions in a match put them up or down on this sort of level chart thing. And then that guarantees the score. And then the all-round score either adds or subtracts from that. It's actually not as complicated as I'm making it. This document explains it really well. Check out this article over on the Sorare blog that is hosted on Medium. Trust me, it'll explain it all for you. And lastly, a plug for the likes of Sorare Data. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I use them every day on Sorare. This is where you can do all your research. This is, if you're from Football Index, this is your index gain. If you're from Footstock, this is your Footstock stats. If you're from FPL, this is your Fantasy Football Hub or your Scout. This is where you do your digging. There's lots of features here. I leave that up to you, but this is where you can look into who's scoring well, who's doing well, and try and nab some bargains. So yeah, Sorare Data, I recommend that. The official Discord, I'll have a link to Sorare Data below. I'll also have a link to the official Discord of Sorare, which is where you can converse with other managers, and people over there will answer all your questions, probably quicker than I will in the below channels, but still do reach out to me. Before I leave, a couple of things. Jeez, I'm going to get this done in under 25 minutes, which is good going, I think. So, first off, before you go, please don't forget, use the link in the description. You'll help me out big time. I really appreciate that. And you get 100 million extra in your draft, which, as I've shown and I've explained why, is critical at the start, really, to get those extra goalkeepers in. I could have shown you some values, but starting goalkeepers are pretty expensive. You're talking half a coin, like. So that's one thing. And secondly, I'm going to do a little competition. So I want people to sign up using my link as a further incentive to use that link. If you use it, I'm going to say, send me a screenshot of your draft on one of the below channels. Say you use my link. I'll trust you. I'll just trust you. Send me your recent draft. I'll trust you that you use my link. And let's say for every 50 entries, no, that's a bit much, is it? Every 25 people who sign up using my link, I can track that. For every 25 people who sign up using my link, I will give away a card worth up to 100 euros. Okay? I'm putting that out there now. I'll track that myself. Every 25 users that sign up off the back of this video, I'll give away a card worth 100 quid. How bad? It's an extra little incentive for you. You'll need to message me your team because due to GDPR, Sorare themselves can't tell me who has used my link. But if you send me it, I'll track the numbers. When we hit those milestones, I'll give away cards worth 100 quid. So that's it for today's video. That's kind of me trying to go through it all in a nutshell. A little bit more in depth than the What is Sorare video. I will link at the end of this video the What is Sorare video, maybe here or here, and the 5 common misconceptions. That'll be a good watch if you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. And yeah, check me out in the below socials. It's been a pleasure. Any questions, fire it in the comments, fire it wherever. We'll get your questions answered and we'll get you set up and started in Sorare in no time. I'd highly recommend it. It is really, it's just been a breath of fresh air for my footballing experience. I'm watching Belgian football. I'd never done that before. I didn't want to watch Belgian football when I got onto Sorare. I said I'm going to stick to Europe, like the champions of Europe, the big leagues. But it just does it to you. I'm buying Asian players now and all. It does it to you. I hope you get on well. Look after yourselves, and thank you so much for watching the video.